very creative wedding.
Can
Love
you
it.
keep this if we don't use it all tonight?
Yep.
And so we just put in a like Ziploc bag or something and
Yeah, anything airtight. Keep it as airtight as you can. I've given you two smaller bits, so if you only use one tonight, I mean, one of these will be one roll. So then you can have a play with whatever's left over, or you can open the other one. But yeah, it lasts for quite a while, but yeah, try and
ah,
keep it as like airtight as possible.
this to make holes.
Pardon?
Is this to make holes?
Yeah.
I was wondering what's that for?
Yeah, it's
I
just like
like
a
the first
little.
one, the with the teardrop, that one. The little yeah, that one.
Yeah, so everybody's got a couple of different whole
Oh, and the
stamping
bottle.
things. Oh yeah. Nice. I think Charlotte will be coming on in a bit, but she's putting her daughter to bed.
This is exciting.
I think I don't know if that or many people will be able to join tonight. It might just be us two because Charlotte will be there because we've had to change the date. So there was quite a few boxes that were sent out, but I think some people will be on TikTok and then some aren't able to make it because they've got things on. I know Diane can't make it tonight.
Ah,
Um,
well,
but it's
something's got a
fun.
gift if people want to watch football.
Yeah, it's not my kind of fun, but I watched it with my son because he wanted to watch it. But
Well, we had it on, so but I am usually on iPad with my headset. I'm in the room, but do my own thing. But
yeah,
yeah, England lost,
I
so
know. Yeah, not so good for them. Although, did you see what we're making next month?
next month, no.
Yeah, I know. Look how organized I am. We're going to be doing sand art.
Oh,
How cool
that
that is.
is yes, and the rainbow colors. I love
Yeah,
that.
you can see that.
I
You're
looked
gonna
up where is
love it.
that place where you do that live thing because I really want to do what you're about to do. I
Oh
want to do
yeah,
that one so bad. It's 3 hours and 11 minutes from me, so there's no
oh,
way on earth I can attend that.
oh yeah.
If
No,
it was
well,
within an hour, I would have gone,
yeah.
but that is just too far.
I think at
So,
some point, maybe we'll do a little if it takes off, maybe we'll do a little creative tour and we'll come around the country.
oh,
Be fun.
yes, but I really want to do what you're gonna do there,
Yeah,
that one.
I will definitely do mosaics at some point. I just want
Um,
to leave enough time so that the people who did do it don't think, oh, we're not
yeah,
doing that again. But I
fair
do
enough.
really want to do it. I love mosaics and people always really love it. And we can make something different. I've just got a few more ideas that I want to get out first.
Well,
And
that
then,
rainbow one looked really good. And that's different from what you did before, from what I saw.
yeah, that was just one that I was playing around with. They were smaller tiles. Um, but yeah, there's some lovely things. And even like plant pots and um, mirror tiles, that kind of thing. There's lots of cool things we could do.
Yeah, well,
Um, I
I'm
think
here for it.
I don't know whether to just start. Should we just start? Because it's getting on a
Yeah,
bit, isn't it?
yeah.
Right,
I think, yeah, what can you do?
yeah. Right, so we have our kits. We're going to be making these lovely air drying clay lanterns this evening. So what I'm going to do is really try and encourage you to just play tonight. I am going to show you how to make the air dry clay lanterns, but we're also just going to have a bit of time to just make whatever you want. I'll also teach you how to do a pinch pot if you've never done any pottery before at all. A pinch pot is a really good place to start. We'll probably start with that just so you can get a bit of a feel for, what the clay feels like. Um, and then we'll make our lanterns and then so you won't be able to do this evening, but I'll show you how to kind of sand them down because I've got a couple that I made earlier and how to varnish them. So but I'll do that right at the end because it does get quite messy. I actually might show you how to varnish them first and then sand them down
Next question.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really have anything under, but I'm on a
Mhm.
surface that is easily washable. This is this easily washable?
It absolutely is. However, when you do your cutting, like I've got this cutting
Oh,
one,
I see what you
has
mean.
left a couple of little circles. So I don't know if you've um, got a
Mm.
chopping board or
Oh yeah, I'll work something out.
any kind of tablecloth, anything like that.
Oh yeah, I can put the tablecloth under.
Yeah, have you got a plastic tablecloth or something that you can wet wash?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because otherwise it's going to stick to it.
Mm,
Um,
I'll work it out. Wait, let's continue. I'll work it
yeah,
out.
yeah. It might be that when you roll it out, you could maybe get some foil or something, or even the pieces of paper, actually.
Yeah,
You could possibly lift it, put it on there, and then cut. And then it might be that it's fine to
yeah.
not going to go through because it has kind of left some marks on this. I've wiped it a few times, but it has left some marks, which obviously as this cutting board, it's fine. But
I'll use this envelope, look, the one that I've cut and it
oh
didn't.
yeah, yeah, good idea, yeah.
Yeah, I use that. Okay.
Right, so you can open one of your air dry clay. I haven't got scissors here, but if scissors are probably easier to open it with. So open one of your bags of clay. It is so warm. It's just got ridiculous.
Yep, I agree. Disgusting.
Thanks for the rose. Oh, stop it.
Ooh.
Right.
Oh, we take all of it out.
Yeah, take all of it out. I'm going to remove my rings actually because I always forget. So maybe trying to think because this whole thing will pretty much do. Actually, no, there will be extra. Let's just cut off a little bit from the bottom, maybe a quarter of it. Okay, and just squish it into a ball. We don't want to be adding air to this if we can help it. So no kind of pulling it apart and put it back together. You don't want to be adding air bubbles, but you just want to kind of roll it into a bit of a ball if you can.
Was it about a quarter you cut?
Yeah, about a quarter. So the pieces of paper that I put in there were not just for um, decoration. We are going to actually use those pieces of paper later.
The purple paper.
No, the printed out pieces of paper. There was two pieces of A4 printed out paper.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, good.
yeah. And we're going to use that in a bit. So if you roll it into a ball, we're just going to make like the most simple pot out of this. And this is called a pinch pot. So you roll it into a ball. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to get your thumb and stick it straight about halfway through the middle so you can have it on your thumb like that. Then what you do is you pinch with your thumb and your fingers, you kind of pinch it and move around. And what you're doing is just pulling the edges out and you're making that hole just a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. You probably see kids making these kind of ones when they first start doing clay. And then you can kind of put both fingers in, push down on the bottom. My nails are a little bit long for this. I used to do a pottery class and I absolutely loved it. And I met some of my really lovely good friends, my pottery class. So we're just kind of squishing it around. It doesn't have to be even, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just and then you can just decide whatever you want to use it for. So if you want it to be like a trinket bowl, you can kind of pull it out a little bit further, make it a bit thinner. I just love when it's kind of uneven and not quite perfect and basically handmade.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
If you wanted to paint this once it's dry, what kind of paints can
You
you use?
So this stuff is really good because you can basically paint it with whatever you want. But acrylic paint is probably the cheapest and easiest. And then you've got a bit of varnish in here, so you can put a bit of varnish on top if you want. Or you can just keep it clear and then put the varnish on top.
Or
So
is this the vanish that's in the pot?
yeah, in the little pot, yeah. I've tried to put them all in little bags as well. I was a bit worried about it. It did say when I bought these pots, it said they're suitable for liquids, and I was like, I hope so.
And that's
Right. So we've got a little pot. You can do whatever you want with this pot. You can add some embellishments around the side. You can make it this funny shape. I quite like that mine kind of goes up and down. You can turn the edges out or in, whatever you want to do. So when it starts to dry, it will shrink a little bit, not too much. So you don't want the edges to be too thick, but you also don't want them to be too thin. So maybe like half a centimeter, maybe 5 mil or something thick so that it can dry evenly. So there we go. We have a little pinch pot. So because I've started pushing it down against the table, it's got a flat bottom. Quite like that the edges have dried out a bit and we've gone a bit, almost like a bit dragony. I quite like it. So when you get it to the point that you want it, we'll just move that off to the side and we'll just let it dry. Now these take probably 24 to 48 hours they take to dry. So you need to be a bit careful that it's not going to move in that time. So when you're happy with it, put it somewhere that it's just going to stay. Starting to get a bit dusty already. Right.
I've made a little trinket for my
Oh, lovely.
uh,
Oh, that's really cute. Well done.
uh hopefully it'll be okay.
Mm.
Um,
Right. So we've got our bigger piece of clay. I haven't gone through what's in our kit. So we have two of this lovely Das air dry clay. We have some sandpaper for when it's dry. We have a rolling pin. We have two different thicknesses of measuring gauges. However, the thin ones are really, really thin. They're very useful sometimes if you want to do embellishments on top of your pieces, but if you want anything that's going to be strong enough to stand up, we're going to use the thicker pieces of wood. You've got a couple of LED lights. I don't want to be responsible for you guys making a lantern that burns your house down, so I have given you LED candle lights because it's there. I think I did look up on the with DAS, and as much as they're used a lot, I've seen them used a lot for candle holders. It doesn't actually say that it's fireproof or fire safe. So I'm not encouraging you to use naked flames with this. You've got a sponge for smoothing out edges. You've got a tool, like a plastic tool that can help to shape it. We've got a brush and some varnish. And you'll have two different sets of cutters of all varying different shapes and sizes. So all of your lanterns should be different. Oh, and there was, oh, I haven't got the little, what did I do with them? Anyway, you've all also got some little hole cutters. So you've
Little
got
what?
them. The hole cutters that you showed me at the beginning, the little hole
Oh,
punch things.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So you can use that as well if you want. Right, so what we're going to do is we're now going to roll this out so that it's flat. We don't want to start squishing it up because we're going to just, we don't want any more bubbles in it. So you can get what we're going to do is roll it. We don't want it to be too wide. So we're pretty much, sometimes you can roll kind of left to right, but we're mostly going to be rolling up and down to make this a long, thin-ish piece of clay. So the height of it, I mean, it's basically like that. So we want it to be a little bit wider than that because we're going to take off the top and the bottom. But if you put your clay in the middle of your table, and you get your two thicker pieces of wood, we're going to be using these and we're going to be using our rolling pins. Make sure you've got enough room. I'm going to move these out the way. And I'm going to face it upwards. I might need to stand up for this. I have got very short shorts on. I didn't think about that, did I? Right. So what we're going to do is just start rolling our clay up and down. And every now and again, you can turn it over. We are going to kind of go a little bit left and right when we are first starting. And try and do it as evenly as you can. And when it gets down to a little bit lower, I'll show you what to do with your pieces of wood. So you can roll it in every direction. Diagonal roll is quite handy as well, sometimes to kind of get it all moving. I'm going to turn it over. Right, so it's getting a bit thinner. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay our two pieces of wood on either side of your clay. And what this does is make sure that you roll it to the same consistency of thickness all the way through. Okay, so you just sit it either side and then you continue to roll as you did before. Sometimes you need to move the pieces slightly higher or lower depending on which part you're rolling out. But when you start getting a bit flatter, I'm going to turn it over again. You'll find that those pieces of wood will stop it from going too thin. When you're using things like silver clay, So you can make things, there's something called silver clay, and you can make things like this. I don't know if you can see my necklace, but you
So
can
what,
make,
it dries into silver?
you use a blowtorch and it turns into 99.9% silver.
Oh.
It's amazing. It's really cool.
Wow.
But I made my necklace with it with my lovely friend Rika, who I met on a pottery class. And yeah, it's really cool. It's quite expensive to buy. I'd love to put it in a box at some point, but it's
What's
been
the
like
name? Silver clay.
silver clay. And when you're using silver clay, what people often do is get a deck of cards. And rather than using wood like this, you can use three, four, five playing cards, and you can roll it out between the cards because then you get the gauge of the
Wow.
clay exactly right.
Silver clay.
Yeah. I mean, when I made this probably 7 or 8 years ago, a little tiny bit of the clay that was like this big was £50. So
Oh.
I don't know what it is now. But I mean, if you think about a chunk of silver that big anyway, it would
Yeah.
be,
Well, what just jumped at me? Amazon, 10 grams, 57.75.
yeah. And then you need
Crazy.
a blowtorch. You need a blowtorch.
Yeah.
I think, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get into this. And I think I spent £300 before I'd done anything.
Oh my God.
So, but if I can manage to find some, and I mean, if I could find some to supply it, that would be amazing. But it would obviously be a more expensive box.
Yeah.
But it would be a lovely thing to do.
Could be upgraded box.
Yeah. Right, turn that over. Okay, so we are nearly there. This is just about getting to the stage where it's a nice consistent thickness. Make sure you don't roll off the end of your piece because it will, it's not ideal. Right, so when we get to the point where we've got our clay rolled out to the thickness that we want, what we want to do then is cut so we have a flat bottom. So I'm going to use one of these pieces of wood to make my cut. I'm going to try, and I might turn it sideways actually. I'm quite lucky because I've got this cutting board, so it's got lines on it. I'm going to look for the side. So one of my edges, I think the top edge actually has got kind of is slightly wider. So we're going to go for the edge that has the wider straight bit, if you know what I mean. And what I'm going to do is use my piece of wood to mark where I'm going to cut, but I'm going to place the wood on the bit that's not going to be left, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to place this on a line so that I can see where it's straight. Actually, I'll line it up with the top. So I'm going to line the top line up with a line and the bottom line up with a line. Maybe a little bit lower than that. And I'm going to cut on the clay side, on the bigger side, so that when I'm pushing down on here, I'm not going to make a mark that's going to be left on there. Do you see what I mean? So I'm going to hold my stick down and then I'm just going to make a cut all the way across. It is a bit tricky. Use it as a...
Are you doing this to achieve straight line?
Yeah. And then I'm going to remove that. So this is just a bit of extra. If you've got a little bag that you want to put it in, or you can kind of put it straight back in this for now. Okay. Now I'm going to do another straight line down. I think how, hang on a second. Your piece of paper, you can mark. I'm just going to see roughly how, so I just put my piece of paper around my bottle that I'm going to use, just to see roughly how long I'm going to need.
Oh,
So
okay.
literally just very, very roughly. And I'm going to make mine so that it doesn't quite match up, I think. So roughly, I'm going to cut, actually, I'll do it a bit bigger. Again, I'll hold that down, put it roughly on the right line, and cut with your knife straight down. Take this piece away. Right. Now, with our, I'm going to also then roughly, I'm going to cut this slightly smaller than my bottle. So I've got a wine bottle here. I'm going to wrap my piece of paper around my bottle to see how tight it is and make a little mark on my piece of paper. Literally just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact. So that I can, and then I'm going to cut this just slightly smaller than that, because what I'm going to do is leave a little gap. If you want to make the line a different shape, you absolutely can. You can make them the same shape and they'll kind of sit roughly together. But just for simplicity, we're just going to do a rectangular one here. So I'm going to see where that is and do it slightly smaller. Line it up. Best for a right-handed. And get rid of that piece of clay. Right, and I'm also going to, this top edge is literally just ripped off. So what I did is just ripped off the top edge to make that nice kind of ripped edge. I quite like the top edge of this one as it's rolled out, because again, it's kind of left a bit of a dragony thing. But if you want to cut the top off and make it all nice and smooth, or even do a wiggly line, which is what I've done with this one, finish it off however you want. I know it sounds like I'm kind of just going, oh, do what you want, but I really want this session to be a bit of a like play with it, see what you want to do. If you want to have a little go when you've, I don't know if you've squished this other bit up, but you can kind of see what it would look like to rip it. And it gives this almost like feathery, almost like a material look. So I quite like that. Right, now I'm going to get my smallest cutter from each of our sets. The bigger cutters you can use for other things. The smaller ones are probably the best for the lanterns, but I've put some bigger ones in so you can play with them and, you know, maybe add something to one of your pinch pots. And just go wild and kind of cut out some shapes wherever you want them. you do need to still have a bit of structure within your lantern. You don't want to cut out too much because you still need to have the structure of the clay between your holes. So keeping probably, at the smallest, maybe a centimetre, but make sure there are bigger bits of clay that can support the shape of your lantern. So I'm going to do some triangle shapes. Not just, I think I'm just going to do them random. Or maybe like a swirl going up. And these sticks are quite nice for poking the shapes out as well. If they don't come out easily. I hope that oh, I was going to say I hope that everyone else did get the link, but I've just remembered that
Yeah,
you did get it. I like these little triangles, they're quite cute.
I'm doing hearts.
Ah, nice. I quite like that the kits are often like if I ever get the chance to send you all something slightly different, I really like that because then you all get, they're all going to be slightly different anyway, but
Yeah.
I do love when they're
And some ladies are really creative. Like I love seeing what they do when they post.
yeah.
Like, wow.
I mean, your card was lovely.
Oh, thank you. That really did turn out well. I was impressed with
Yeah.
that. I enjoyed that one as well. I think that was my second favorite.
Yeah. I really liked it actually. It was one of those ones that you often find, don't you? It's the things that I'm like, yeah, I'll do that one because it's a good skill, it might be a bit nostalgic for people. But then, I don't know, to be honest, pretty much every single one I've done so far, I've gone, oh, yeah, this is a really good one.
Yeah. No, I enjoy them. So
Yeah, me too. Oh, I like these triangles. They're nice.
now just check if I'm leaving, if my gaps are big enough.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
perfect. Oh, that's cute. Also, just make sure there's a little bit of space. Don't do too much at the bottom as well. I mean, we will support this as it's drying, but yeah. Oh, this is going to look cool. How are you getting on, Keza? Are you still there? Are you still wedding crafting?
I think I'm gonna paint this one.
Yeah. There's so many cool things that you can do with it. Like I said in when I think we were talking about doing this last time, weren't we? And I saw someone making these really lovely centerpiece candle holders for like a Christmas Day type thing. And they just laid three different bottles on a table, rolled out a really long slab of it, and just sat it over these few
Oh
bottles.
yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then like just, wedged a candle in the top. You've got to be a little bit careful of that because um they do shrink slightly when they dry.
Yeah.
So if you shove like a tea light in it and then let it dry, it will kind of shrink around it and it might crack a little bit. I'm not sure the shrinkage percentage with this, but I know that normal clay, I think, is 15%. So you do have to be a bit careful because it's enough to make a difference if you're, you know,
Yeah,
ah,
but I think it's good to like I think once you try, like I'm doing this first time, but then however this ends up, it'll give me idea.
yeah, exactly. And the first time you do something, it is literally just to experiment with the medium. We're just playing around with it so that you kind of get a feel for it, you know how it works, what it does. And also, we're not going to close up the gap from these because of the shrinkage as well.
But we don't need to because this is like
Yeah, no, we don't need to. And it again lets a little bit more light out. There's also, I remember when I was doing my pottery class, I bought a load of ceramic, um, was it ceramic? Clay. And it's like white clay. I'm sure it's called, is it ceramic? I think it is. Um, but if you make things that are thin enough with it, it needs firing in a kiln, but light will pass through it. So if you're making, I remember I never finished it because I'm me, but I was making these like hanging, I think I rubbed a load of leaves in it and then I cut around and I made them really, really thin. And you can put them in the kiln with the leaves on them, and then the kiln obviously burns it off. And what you're left with is these beautiful, really, really thin leaves of like china, basically. It was so nice. I loved it. Really want to go back to my porcelain. Thank you.
yeah, that
Porcelain.
makes
Thank you very
sense.
much. Yes, it was porcelain. But that was a lovely thing to do. Again, it's all these things that you did as a kid and then you just stopped doing them. And it's almost like we get a little bit snobby with ourselves, like, oh, I don't do that because it's like a kid's thing. But actually, it's just really, really lovely to. Hmm. Someone's getting their comments filtered. I don't know who said what, but someone's comments have been filtered. Um, yeah, so thank you, Michelle. Is it Michelle? Yeah, my memory is absolutely terrible. But this is the thing. This is why this business is so perfect for me because I've got so many like little experiences of working with lots of different things that we just have a go and then move on and do something else. And it's lovely.
That's what I like.
Yeah. Right. I think I've done enough pieces now. So I'm going to squish all those little, oh, just shoved my nail in the edge. Shove all those back together in the way. Right. Now I'm going to just smooth out some of those edges, although you don't have to do a massively great job of this because we have our sandpaper for later.
You do it with water.
No, just with your finger. You can do it with water if you want a really smooth um, edge, but we really don't want to make this much wetter because at the moment it's the perfect consistency
Mm-hmm.
and dryness. What we want it to be is like strong enough to hold itself up, although we are going to give it some support. So we don't want it to be too wet, so be a bit careful of that. So what I'm going to do now is get my wine bottle. Oh, it's trying to kick me out of TikTok. I'm still here, shush. I always think that AI just says a little AI summary, crafting air dry clay lanterns by hand. Oh, it's telling me what to do. Suggest a shape to try next. Gonna teach for me soon. So I'm going to get these pieces of paper. If you finish reading what is on them, and I'm going to roll it round my bottle and stick it with a little bit of sellotape. Only bit at the top, only a tiny bit. We don't want loads of sellotape on here. We just literally want a tiny bit to hold it together. And hopefully, if you measured the circumference of your bottle and then you cut your piece of clay slightly smaller than that, this piece of clay should wrap around your bottle perfectly with a little bit of a gap. And that is what we want.
Wow, we're about to find out.
Yes. So I'm going to wrap it around. But the great thing about this is when it dries, we'll be able to slide it straight off.
Look at this gap.
That's fine. That's perfect. Mine's quite big, actually. So it's absolutely fine. So what we want to do now is get our other piece of paper and wrap that around too. And do the same thing, because what that's going to do is set this in place. It's not going to allow it to dry completely, but it will let it dry enough to hold the shape. Because otherwise, if you don't do this, it starts to sag when it's standing up.
Oh, so we put it on top.
Yep, so we're going to do a piece of paper underneath and a piece of paper on top. And we're
What
going
do you
to
mean underneath?
so one piece of paper touching the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I've put my clay around it, and then I'm going to put my paper around. Try not to dent it or anything with your fingers. And then put your other piece of paper around it. And this will hold it in place while it dries. And then a little bit more sellotape. You can use a little bit more with this bit if you want to. You just don't want the clay sticking to the sellotape on the underneath bit.
Mm.
There we go. And then we're going to leave that to dry. And then maybe tomorrow at some point, you kind of very gently you should be able to feel where the edges are and just make sure, like run your fingers up the edge just to make sure that they're sat nice and flush against the bottle. But you can't like lift it up with the bottle because it will slide out. So just try and move that to somewhere that it's going to sit nicely and start to dry. So I would leave, like I said, I would leave it like that for probably 24 hours if you can. And then take the bottle out, take the paper off it, and then let it dry for another 24 hours after that. And to be honest, by this time tomorrow morning, you'll probably be able to take it off because it will at least have dried enough to give it a bit of structure, you know.
And what can we do with our leftovers?
Whatever you want. You can
Mm.
cut some things out of it. You could make a plaque, maybe. You could roll it out and cut out some letters, maybe. If you want, oh, let me show you how to, should we do, should we make a little plaque or something?
No, I think I know. I'm gonna make like little worry stones.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna make little ball. And
If
then
you do want to, sorry.
I'm just making it first in the little bowl. So it's like, so I'm gonna use it up this leftover.
Yeah. If you want to attach some of the clay to other bits of the clay, I'll just quickly show you how to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll this out a little bit. It's not going to be perfect. When you're doing an actual pottery class, you use something called slip, which is basically the clay mixed with water to make a much more watery version of it. So, but what you can do with air dry clay, because you're not going to be pottery when it goes through the kiln becomes super strong. It's not quite as strong as stone, but obviously it's as strong as pottery. You know what pottery is. um, and oops. So when you make joins, you really need to make it join together really, really well. I'm gonna do what should I do? I'll just do a little heart or something. I'm gonna cut a heart out. And then maybe I'll roll out a little bit more. I should have just used that bit. Maybe I'll do a J because my kids' names start with a J. Actually, and this is where I could use the thinner pieces because this doesn't need the structure, so I can roll out thinner pieces here. Mm. I'm going to pick up my J, smooth it out a bit. You can do a lot of the shaping just by tapping the edges, just use your fingers to kind of play around with it. And, it's such a tactile thing, this, isn't it? It's just you've really just got to get your hands dirty and get involved and play with it. Oh, hello, Kitty. So what I'm going to do is to stick something together, what you need is a bit of water and a bit of the clay. So, but we need to make a little bit of a roughened edge to try and get these things to stick to each other. So you can kind of cross hatch on the back of the thing that you're attaching to. Just make little, very gentle dents one way and then the other way. So I've got my backwards J because I'm doing the underside of it. It looks like it's the right way around to you guys. This is all flipped. And then I'm going to take a little bit of clay. I've got a little bowl of water. We'll get it wet. And we're going to just keep adding a little bit of water till it goes quite slimy. I mean, if you want to, you can get a little bowl and you can kind of mix in some water to make it more slip-like, but this works just as well. Kind of make a bit of a slimy bit of slip because this is only a tiny bit of clay that I'm adding. Oops. And then what you can do is add a little bit of this paste. So we're making a little bit of paste in our fingers. You can add the little bit of paste to the back of the piece that you're attaching. It's messy work, but it's cool. Maybe a little bit more. And then that you should be able to stick onto your other piece. And it will just give it a little bit of texture to grab to. If you can work out where that is going on the other piece, do a bit of texturing on the other piece as well. And it will just give it something to grab to. I'm going to push it down a bit. Hello, Sophie. I've just seen your comment. What past crafts have your boxes had, please? I might need some help with this from people that have done the past boxes because I can never remember all of them. But we have done well, there's some of them here.
One we did like a sky with the don't know the name of it. That was my favorite with the sun, a different type of fabric, and we stuck it on with the felt thing.
Yeah, it's over there. Let me see if I can go get it. We've done Kinu Saiga. I'll grab some of the bits from all over the room. Hi. Right, we've done English.
Yeah, that one.
We've done Kinu Saiga, which is a fabric collage. You stick into a foam board, you cut out the pieces and you stick fabric in. We've done English paper piecing, which is a fabric quilting craft. We've made glass resin flowers. We've done macrame. We've done mosaics. We've done, gosh, we've done lots of things.
Paper quilling.
Paper quilling we did last month. We did what's the Japanese one where the broken pottery and you mend it with gold? Kintsugi. Next month we are doing sand art. So we're going to be doing something that looks a little bit like this. Don't know if that light is a bit bright. It is pastel-y, but it's brighter than it looks in that. What else have we done? Done loads of things. We've done,
You done the mosaic that I'm waiting for round two.
yep, oh, lampshades.
Yeah.
We did those lampshades.
You've done the flower from glass, like where you made the leaves and
Yep, glass resin flowers. We've got them here. We've done, gosh,
watercolor.
watercolor. Yeah, cross stitch.
Yes.
Oh,
Um,
lots of different things. Oh, Sophie, you have been missing out, but it's okay because you're here now. So yeah, head on over to the website. You can get yourself a subscription or you can get a one-off box. But the idea is just to get people to do something creative. We do something different every month because I am terrible at trying to do something different all the time. Go on, go upstairs, please. Love you. Little footprints. So yeah, and I was really bad at kind of buying a new kit and then doing it for a bit and then moving on to something else and you'd spend a fortune. So I thought, actually, I think there's a lot of people that want to do something different every month and not have to spend £300 on
exactly.
all the gear. So yeah, that's where Curious Octopus started. That's me. I started so many things and not picked them up since. Exactly. And a big part of this, there are different facets of Curious Octopus. I do the live online workshops because I know I've been a single parent for a while. I know I could never go out and do an art class. I wanted to be able to do something creative, but I just couldn't motivate myself to do it on my own. So it's going to be, I send out the boxes and I get, and then we all go online and we try and do it together. If you can't make the live, that's fine, but I don't send out instructions on purpose. So you have to either watch the video or you have to join the live because you're more likely to do it. There are craft subscription boxes where you get instructions, and that's great if that's what you want to do. But I've got them before and they're still sat in the cupboard and I've never got around to doing them. So that is why I've done this. And I'm working on creating a bit of a community where we can do almost like a body doubling where people can get online and join whenever they want and do something creative with other people. So it won't be actual taught sessions, but it will be like creative sessions where, there's a creative session going on next Monday or whatever. That's just an example. Who wants to come and join? Bring your cross stitch or bring your knitting or bring whatever project that you've been meaning to finish, and we'll all get together and we'll do something creative. I did do the watercolors, yeah. We've done needle felting. We've done mosaics. We've done tie-dye. That was a good
Oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah, that is actually in my top three as well. Yes, that was
Yeah,
really
tie-dye
good.
was fun. Do you know what? It's always the ones that are the ones that you haven't done since you were a kid, that everyone was just like, oh, we did string art. There's another couple. A big pile of rubbish over there. We
Oh
did
yeah, that one as well.
lovely
Yeah.
string art. That was lovely. So we hammered all of the pins in and then we wrapped them around. All of this is going to be covered in dust from there. We've done, what's that, cross stitch? Loads of things, loads and loads of Christmas garland and the autumnal, yeah, the needle felted pumpkins. We've done loads
Oh
of things,
yes, yes, pumpkins.
and it's just all been so lovely. Um, I wanted to do a almost like a pixel art, um, like a sun catcher type thing with crystals where we threaded them all through. But I bought a load of crystals, and some of them are beautiful, and some of them are terrible and plasticky and gross. So I was like, no, we're not doing that yet. So when I find the really lovely, nice beads, maybe we'll do that as well. Right, so I'm going to show you how to finish off these lanterns. So when you come back and you do them later on, I mean, it is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to show you anyway. Oh, sorry, if you when you're doing any of your actual molding, you can use your sponge to. This is drying out a little bit now. You can use your sponge. You can wet your sponge if you want, just to kind of sort out any of the edges. That does make a really lovely effect. Also, when you cut out your holes, if they've got rough edges, I should have shown you this when that was out. This smaller dowel is quite good for kind of getting in and rubbing around the shapes because you can get rid of any rough edges. That's a little tip there. And for your circular ones as well, because often you get a little bit of extra clay. So I'm just going to smooth my little plaque out for my kids. And then I will show you how you can finish this off. They don't have to be perfect because what we've got is a bit of sandpaper. So when they're dry, the sandpaper can be used to smooth out all the edges and curve the edges. So what you want to do is, I mean, you want to get the majority of it to the shape that you want while it's wet, but when you can get a lot of the bad edges out afterwards as well with your sandpaper. You can also play around with textures. If you want to roll out some lace on top of your clay or some leaves or whatever you want, you just play with it. Have a really good time and just play around with it. We're being curious. There's no right or wrong way to do it. There's tips that I can give you, but we're not passing and failing in this class. We're playing. Actually, we've said this before, but you actually get more points for making mistakes because that's how you learn. When it goes wrong, that's how you learn. That's how you get to understand the medium a little bit better.
And we're
So
not looking for perfection.
we are not in a world of AI. And it's great sometimes. I use it a lot for the business to speed things along so that, I can get more creative stuff done. But when we're actually making these boxes, we're making them, we're humans, we make mistakes.
And what do we do after this? When it's dry, and let's say I paint it, I put that on top, just like one layer with a brush or
Yep. So I'm going to do that. So if we do, I'll do that first. This one needs a bit more sanding.
just gonna wash my hands while I'm watching.
Yeah. You can use your sponge to. So I'm kind of doing this a bit backwards. Am I going to do this a bit backwards? Yeah, I am going to do it a bit backwards. So when your lantern is dry, and you've left it at least 48 hours. No, I'm not going to do it backwards. I'm going to do a bit of sanding. It probably is a little bit worthwhile doing this outside if you can. It does get very, very dusty. It's totally worth it, obviously, but it will get very, very dusty. I mean, I'm sure you all know how to use sandpaper, but the clay is still quite soft. It is a bit, it's not crumbly, but it sands really easily. So you can really finish up really nicely with this. You can take out any imperfections. You can just go over the whole of the area just to smooth it out. You can get the edges off and just, it really makes it look so much better just by taking the corners off of your lantern. Not going to
Oh,
be
that's
too
so
much.
cool. I can't wait for mine.
Yeah. I'm leaving the rough edge at the top because I really like that rough edge. But this one I didn't. This one I took the corners off. Oh, I don't want to do that one because I'm gonna.
Oh, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Those two, they look white. Is that because they dry that way, or because you painted them, or is it different clay?
No, it's exactly the same clay. It's quite a similar color. They are kind of like a white gray when they
Oh,
dry.
okay. Maybe on camera they look really, really white.
Yeah, they're not super white. They're not far off what the color is on the actual clay. I think they do lighten a little bit. Yeah. Right. So then I can use my sponge to, you don't want to wipe it with a wet sponge just before you dry it. If you can do just to really get rid of all of the dust, but if you're going to wipe it with a wet sponge, you're going to need to leave it to dry again properly before you do any varnishing. I've got a wet side on that side, so I'm just going to quickly wipe it down on the other side. So, and then with our varnish, we're literally just going to, I'm going to wipe that. I'm going to wipe my side so that I can have clean hands and a nice tidy surface, and I haven't got dust everywhere. Oh, thanks for all the likes, Charlotte. I think Charlotte's still putting her kid to sleep. Right. Ooh, wipe off my hands a little bit. Got a tea towel in as well.
Hmm?
Right. Right, I need to dry my hands. Right, so I'm gonna get I'm just gonna dry them on my top. Sorry. Oh, Stop It is amazing. I don't have children actually. Who said you had children? I think that might have. Has it leaked now? No, it hasn't. Right, so the varnish, it's pretty self-explanatory, really. We're literally just going to start painting it on. Make sure that all the dust is off it. It is a matte varnish, but it will just give it a little bit of extra protection. You'll probably find that on the rough edges, it will absorb a little bit more. Try and remember where you've been so you know that you've done every single surface. If you've got a bit like this, where have got some teardrop shapes and some round holes, We'll try and go through each section a little bit kind of systematically. And you can do the inside and the outside. But it'll just protect it a little bit more. They won't be waterproof or anything. So if you're going to make vases or something, you can make vases for dried flowers, but I wouldn't make it for wet flowers. It'll just reactivate and go sloppy. Actually, probably what you want to do is paint the bottom first. So then you can hold it and it should start to dry before you put it down again. Just a very thin layer on the bottom. This is the Winsor & Newton matte varnish. It does allow
what? Matte
varnish.
Can I screenshot it? Do you mind?
Yeah, of course.
1 second. Got it. Thank you.
So it does say allow painting to dry for a minimum of 24 hours and apply thinly. And apply, so when you've painted it, allow 24 hours to dry and then do another coat. And then do your coat of varnish. It does seem to be drying reasonably quickly. Gives it a nice little kind of matte. It's not a sheen, but it is kind of a nice covering. And don't forget to do the inside as well. I thought of you, Anna. Did I say I went down to scatter some ashes a while ago and we went to this lovely beach and I picked up a load of sea glass.
Oh,
It's
you
lovely.
find some nice ones.
Yeah, there was lots of very tiny green bits, a couple of orangey bits. We were down at Wembury,
I don't know that beach.
down near Plymouth.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah.
It feels like diamonds. I feel like
Yeah.
when I find something, it's like you're so excited.
Yeah, it's like treasure, isn't it? And actually there was a load of us down there, but it everybody at some point came and found a little bit of sea glass. So it was just a really nice thing to do together.
that looks so nice. I can't wait for mine to dry. I'll send pictures after this. I think this one will be one of those I will actually finish.
Yeah.
So I only finish about like half, or if that.
Oh no. But like you've said before, you don't really care, do you? Because you're
No,
just about doing something.
exactly. I'm here. Like I enjoy doing this today, so
Yeah,
that's like I love it.
absolutely. Are you still making something else with the clay, or have you left the other one closed?
So I no, so I've made was an attempt of making worry stones.
Oh yeah.
And I'll see because I'm gonna reveal another information about me. I like fidgets and fidgeting.
Oh yeah.
So um
So are they very, you've made them as really smooth stones? Is that
yeah,
what
so
you
I've got
mean?
two smooth. I'll send picture after. So with the thumb dip, that's a heart shape, so you can like put your thumb in there. And
Mhm.
then I did two, which I don't know what you call this shape. Hexagon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've put those, I put like a little dot on it for a texture. So
Nice.
when they're done, I'll send a picture, see how they
Yeah.
work. Um, I bought before some resin ones, which I really like. I always need to hold something in my hand.
I love finding a smooth stone from the beach and playing
So
with it.
yeah, so yeah, and I do have all sorts of paints and pens. I think I told you before when I was into calligraphy and painting and that. So I've got all the supplies in the world for that. So I'm
Nice.
gonna use some paints and then try to like give it some color,
Yeah.
and then I'll send a picture.
Nice. Yeah.
But I am thinking what to do with the second pack because obviously I still got one more pack.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to get creative with that, like something. This actually is, in my opinion, perfect for making gifts.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is such a good thing to make gifts.
Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking what to do with my stepson that we're gonna do some gifts.
Oh, nice.
When he sees this, he's gonna be very happy. We're gonna make some things. I
Oh,
think so. I just need to think of something good.
how old is he?
10. It's gonna be 11 in a month.
Perfect. Yeah.
Um, so we always make gifts and things. So and I thought I ran out of ideas, but this just gave me another idea now.
Yeah. And
So
that's what I kind of I wanted to give you an idea of what to do, but then I like the fact that you then have a bit of like freedom to make whatever you want out of it.
yeah.
You know?
But this particular one is really good for gifts, and we still got one whole one left. So
Good.
um
And it's quite easy to find if you want more than that. It's
yeah, but it's like this, like it showed me how to do it. I thought
yeah,
of this before of dry clay, but I never could make myself do it because I thought, oh, I don't know what to do with it.
yeah,
And now I've tried. I see it's actually not that hard. So
no. And that's the thing. Just sticking your hands in it and having a play just makes it
mm,
just a little bit less scary, you know?
yeah.
Hi Lola.
Which day is the next month? Let me have a look.
It'll be on a Wednesday again, as long as the football doesn't ruin it again this time. Yeah, I can't remember what date it is next month.
Check. Because I've put those dates in my calendar, so
Oh, well done.
I don't. 12th of August.
12, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have you got something else on?
That's my stepson's birthday.
Oh no. Well, you can do some
Uh,
stand art with us.
so we'll see if
Yeah,
I'm still getting like box. That doesn't matter.
yeah,
If I can't do it, I'll do it. I'll message you anyway. If I can't do it, I'll message you so you know I won't.
yeah.
Then like on this, but um, this one is really fun. So the next one I'm excited about that one. So
Yeah, I'm really
I'll
looking
watch it on
forward to
YouTube on repeat if I need to.
it. Yeah, that's the thing. But hopefully you'll be able to. I mean, and that's why we've got the Facebook group as well, because that kind of helps to hold you accountable. I think, this is what I'm just trying to do is like get rid of any friction, try and remove the friction between people wanting to do something creative and doing it. If a Facebook group and other people posting it makes you think, oh, I really want to do mine, or if, going online and doing it together, or I'm hoping that all these things will make people go, well, no, I really actually do want to do it, or I will do it.
It's this is probably the best thing I found on TikTok.
Yay.
So,
So glad.
no, I love it. It's me time every month.
Yeah. And your partner loves it because he gets presents out of it every time.
Yeah, that card turned out so well. I was
It
really
looks so
impressed.
good. It looks so, so good.
I was really happy with that.
I think that's my favorite part of this when you guys, if it's something that we haven't finished on the night, and then a couple of days later I get this is what I did and I finished it now. I'm like, oh, so exciting.
And actually, um, my auntie's gonna come visit next week with my cousins. So I want to do with them, and they very arty. So I'm gonna buy some plain white t-shirts, and I want to do tie-dye for all
Yeah.
of us, like we do it all together, because I've got obviously a lot of supplies left
Yeah.
from class.
That stuff went
Oh,
so
geez,
far, didn't it? It was so good.
sorry about that. I don't know if you heard that, but my dog's gone nuts.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
no, I didn't know. Right.
Um, so yeah, so we're gonna do some t-shirts as well with my supplies.
Amazing. I'm going to let this sit on a. My daughter's just come back in. On a card. I'm going to
How
let
long
this
do you think
sit.
that takes to dry?
Um, I would say, um, I think probably only about an hour to be touch dry, but it says to leave it 24 hours between coats. So that possibly will stick to that card. I'm not sure. It might be worth, if you don't want it to stick, it might be worth doing the underside first. Maybe do the rim
Yeah,
and then let that dry completely. And then the next day, paint the rest of it, I would
yeah,
say. But I just wanted to show you kind of
yeah.
what
Thank
it
you.
goes on like. Um, but yeah, so that's us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's another amazing
And
class.
you're very, very welcome. Thank you to everyone that joined on the live. Thank you, Anna, for being here to chat to me. I thought I was going to have to go back to one of
Oh,
the
I like
other
this.
days where I'm chatting to
This
myself.
this works for me. I prefer this.
Yeah, I think so. I do. I really like it.
But it's good to have option for people who don't want to.
I think so, yeah, because there was people, there's been a few people, haven't there, that don't really want to be on Zoom, but like being part and just typing. And
Yeah.
oh, Charlotte, can't wait to do mine. I promised my daughter we could do it together. Yeah, nice. Lovely. Oh, I hope that everybody has enjoyed themselves. I'll put this
Thank
on
you.
YouTube, so people can watch again. Although if you get this far through, you've already watched the whole thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Another
Oh,
amazing
you're very
class.
welcome. You're very welcome. And I can't wait for next month when we're going to be doing sand art. It is honestly so satisfying just peeling the bits off and like gliding the sand
Yeah.
over, and it sticks so well. And then you can mix other colors and it doesn't kind of permeate the bits that you've already done. It's really, really, really satisfying. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you next month. Get your box from Curious Octopus Art.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, given me a follow and a like and that kind of thing. And also join the
Facebook
Facebook
group.
group. Yeah. What was it? Curious Octopus
Oh, let me
Creative
see.
Community.
I think
It's
so.
a closed Facebook group as well. And we really do,
Yes.
we're happy for anybody to post anything that you've made, anything creative. It's just a community space for people to just, you know, show us what you've made. Oh, and also you've got your little LED lights when you want to put them in your lanterns. Did I go through all of the things that I've included? I think I did.
Thanks, all.
Oh, and you've got that little tool if you want help with shaping. Anyway, right. Thank you very
Thank you.
much and get out. And I will see you soon.
See you next month. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.